Hope you guys are doing good.
We miss you.
Miss you lots.
Alrighty. And since Sunday school is now coming to an end, these videos will now be focusing on crafts. Like we mentioned last week, we're going to be doing arts and crafts and different projects with you guys, and we're going to be showing you how to go through it. Now, last week we mentioned that we were going to be making cookies.
And instead of just telling you how we're actually going to show you so that we can actually learn how to make sugar cookies. Like, you can help, like a nice fun family activity. You can, you know, help your parents with it, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So.
Okie dokie. We have all of our ingredients here, everything pre-measured out. So we have 2 3/4 cup of flour. Now this is going to make a lot of cookies. It's going to make 48 cookies.
So that's a lot of cookies, but it should be plenty for you guys. And then we also have our 1.5 cups of sugar. And as you can see, this is the sugar we were talking about, where it's the natural sugar. So it's not pure white. It has like a slight like beigeish color to it.
2 sticks of butter.
Vanilla extract.
Baking soda.
And 1 egg.
And we also have a couple of extra things here. Now you don't have to do this, but we have different types of sprinkles that we're going to be putting on top of the cookies.
Just to make it a little bit more fun.
And we also have some cookie cutters as well. There we go.
All right, and so we just need to mix them up first.
Let's get started.
All right.
Dokie.
Move that over here.
Yes, it is. There we go. Okie dokie. We got our big old mixing bowl right here.
And so while you're mixing the ingredients together, what you want to do is have your parents set the oven to 375 for you, so that way you can preheat while you're mixing everything together. So that way, you know, multitasking.
There we go. Alrighty. So.
And what you want to do first is you want to mix the dry ingredients together first.
Yep. So we're going to take our flour.
Just so they can see.
And take our flour, put it in the bowl. See, there it goes.
Here, I might switch the camera angle on this. Okay, so we got our flour in here. And now we actually missed another ingredient. We need baking powder as well. So we got that right here.
Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to, after we've preheated the oven to 375, it's over there nice and preheated, we're going to stir together our flour, baking soda, and baking powder. So for our baking powder, we need a 1/2 teaspoon.
There we go, 1/2 teaspoon.
For our baking powder, our baking soda, we need 1 teaspoon. I've got to open this. Should I just open the top?
It should like fold over, shouldn't it? Like, ooh.
A little hard to open.
It is a little hard to open.
Watching me struggle.
Yeah, and sometimes you just want to do this over the bowl so that way in case it falls, you just go right in there.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
So.
Alright. Then we just gotta mix that together. So we can just take a spoon to mix it together.
So that's nice and mixed together.
Yeah, and then we set that to the side.
Actually, we might need another bowl for this one.
Yeah.
So we can cream.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all Alrighty. So for this part,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to need a mixer.
Yeah.
Got our mixer right here. We're going to need to cream together our 2 sticks of butter.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to want to take the butter out a little bit earlier.
So it can be nice and soft, and you can kind of see how it's kind of like a little bit melted, and that's kind of how you want it. And if you don't have it out already, you can just put it in the microwave for like a couple seconds, like 5 seconds.
And it should soften up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And you're gonna want your parents to probably help you with this if you have a mixer, because they could be a little hard to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Get it in there. And you want 2 sticks because that's a cup of butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to take the sugar and put it in here as well. Do I need to start mixing it first? No? Okay. So here's our sugar.
I'm gonna pour all that sugar in there.
Make sure you put all that in there. And with baking, you want to be very precise because it's not like cooking where you can just kind of wing it. With baking, it's like a science. So you need to make sure you have your ingredients measured out properly. All right. Take it in here and just set it to 1.
Yes.
So see, it just kind of does it all by itself. It's kind of fun to watch.
It is kind of fun to watch. Now you might need to every so often take it and
like stop it for a bit and just try to get the butter out. So you'll take
a nice little spatula.
A spatula like this. Just kind of knock it out of there. You gotta be careful with it. Alright, so once it's been knocked out a little bit, you try to get all it off the spatula too. Set it up again. And you want to get it until it's smooth. So not like not grainy or anything.
Yeah.
Probably just stop again.
Stop it again. Just repeat the process as many times as you need to.
But see, you can see that there's progress. It's kind of getting there. All right, here we go again. You can see how smooth it's getting too. You can like see, look at that.
Nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth. So we can probably add in the other stuff right now, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you want to get all this off again. So get off as much as you can. Doesn't matter if you get all of it off yet. Set this over here. And now you're going to take your egg. And crack it carefully. So when you hear that sound, take it, then crack it in there like that.
Perfect.
All right, where's the trash can?
It's over there.
Over there? Okay.
In that cabinet next to Yes.
All right. And make sure you wash your hands after you crack an egg.
Always wash your hands after you crack an egg.
Because you don't want to get salmonella.
Yes.
Yes, kitty. Can I help you?
We have a little helper with us.
Say hi. His name is Mr. Atticus Finch. He's a sweet boy. Yes. Hi. He's our little helper. He's our little buddy.
Our little buddy.
Yeah. Okay.
So back over here.
And then you take the vanilla extract, and you're gonna do a teaspoon. We have a half teaspoon, so you're gonna fill it up twice. Dump that in there. And then one more. There we go.
Perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start that mixer back up again.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Let me push this down in here. Just this little bit up here that wasn't in there. There we go. Oops, that's on two.
You see the consistency has already changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's starting to look a little bit more like cookie dough.
Mm-hmm. And the only thing we need to add in now is the flour.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, I'm gonna go grab that real quick.
So I'm going to take our dry ingredients yet again.
And you're gonna want to mix it in there slowly. So only a little bit at a time.
A little bit.
It's like about that much at a time, because we got a lot. Once you see it mixed in, you can add more.
Mm-hmm. And just keep up that process.
Mm-hmm. And of course, every now and again, you're gonna want to stop it, kind of take it out, and push it through. You can see the consistency is changing again.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking even more like cookie dough now. You try to resist the urge to eat the cookie dough.
I know I want to eat the cookie dough.
Yeah. It's really hard urge to resist, but sometimes you gotta do it. You gotta make sure you have it all done first, and then you can have like whatever's like left over on the mixer. Because you want to have a lot of cookie dough because it's a raw egg, and raw eggs aren't always good for your tummy. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more while it's not spinning. Just to... Oh, I should probably add it over here. Sorry, I'm all up in your way, Tosh.
Oh, you're all right. Perfect.
Okay, just mix that in again. This is gonna take a while, but you know, gotta make sure you mix it in properly. And I'm probably gonna take it off again. I know it probably doesn't look like the most fun thing, but it actually is pretty fun, making cookies.
I love making cookies.
It's a long process, but once you get it done, you feel, you know, really great about it afterwards.
It's a nice sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, because you made something, and it turned out really good, and it tastes good. That's the best part, is like you made something, but you get to eat it. We know how much you guys love snacks. Alright, there we go. Let's mix them again. Adding some more flour. I want to eat it so bad.
Same. I just look at it and I'm starting, you can even start to slightly smell the cookie dough, and it smells like sugar cookies, and it smells super tasty.
Smells really good. I think the one difference you need to make for making it chocolate chips is just add chocolate chips to it.
And brown sugar.
Oh, yeah, and brown sugar. You need brown sugar for chocolate chip cookies, because that gives you a different flavor. That's why sugar cookies and chocolate chip taste so different, because there's another ingredient in there, which is the brown sugar that we told you guys about.
And I love anything with brown sugar in it. Brown sugar is very, very tasty.
It's very tasty.
Now, I'm suspecting that this might have a little bit of a different taste because of the sugar that we added to it. Now, again, if you don't have the sugar that we have at home, just regular white sugar, that's technically what the recipe calls for.
White sugar, but we just wanted to see if this has a different taste to it or not. And so we'll see.
A little bit of an experiment.
So this is a bit of an experiment for us, and for you guys to see. Because again, since baking's like a science, you can experiment with it a little bit.
Mhm.
That's how you learn to make different recipes, is by experimenting.
Mhm.
Mix that all in there. And I could probably put the last of the flour in here.
I'm gonna put in the
So
last
here
of
we
the flour.
Oh, there we go. If the bag will cooperate with me. And so, there it is, the last of the dry ingredients.
Mhm.
We're gonna mix that in a little bit with just the spatula, so that we can go through a bit evenly. Okay. There we go. All right, and our cookie dough is all done.
Look at all
Look at
that.
Oh, I forgot you locked it. Look at that. You can see how it looks a lot different
Mhm.
than when we first started.
And now the dough is actually a little bit darker than regular cookie dough.
And that's probably because of our sugar.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably gonna taste different too.
Oh yes.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and take this out. We can start again when we're getting ready to roll it out.
Okay. I'm gonna stop right here. Okay. So we have all of our cookie dough. This is very heavy. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to roll it into small balls. So we're going to just take a little pinch, roughly about this much. Gonna roll them. Cookie.
Yeah.
Now
You want to make them small because they do get bigger in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
So again, about this much. It's about like this much, like a nice little
Actually, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger.
and then just kind of roll it.
Bam.
Right there. We have some cookie cutters. We could probably use one of these just to make it like a giant sugar cookie.
Yeah, I want to use the bone.
You want to use the bone?
The little bone
I
one.
want to use the dachshund. Oh, it's dusty. Let me clean it.
It's been a minute.
Okay, for the
That's our friend Cody on the camera.
Mhm. We have Big Cody.
And the cats are screaming.
So what we're going to do for the cookie cutter is you're going to want to take a certain amount. I'm using about this much, about palm-sized amount. And we're going to bring it over here. Actually, I'm probably going to need a little bit more for this.
Hello, you're in my way. Excuse me. Ooh, what? I was afraid he's gonna bite my leg.
Oh no, he won't bite you.
Just
Not unless you're playing.
A little bone.
Now the rest can go back into the dough.
So big. I'm gonna make a little dachshund.
A large dachshund.
Big boxing.
When you think about it, dachshunds are kind of big, like they're small,
But
their
they
backs are
big.
really large, which makes them really long. So, I'm probably gonna need some more of that. Let's see. Yep, we're gonna need more.
There you go.
Thank you.
And make sure your hands are clean. So before we did this, you didn't see, we washed our hands.
You always want to make sure you wash your hands before you cook anything. Okay, perfect. So squeeze it down in there. And there we go, a little dachshund.
Little dachshund.
It's probably not gonna look like this once it bakes,
But that's all right.
but that's okay.
It looks like it now, and that's what matters.
Yep. And we did have a little taste of our cookie dough. And it does taste a little different than it should.
I'll take that.
I was just gonna use it to make another cookie.
I was just gonna break a little bit off so I can make another cookie.
I'm just gonna leave the dachshund there because I don't know if I can pick it up.
That's fair.
We do have specials if you need.
It's a little bit smaller.
And it's okay if your cookies aren't all the same size. It doesn't matter. What matters is how they taste, and they're going to taste phenomenal.
Yep. And this is a very basic recipe. We found it online.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard to make sugar cookies.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to make different cookies, that's when it gets a little bit harder and like more ingredients and stuff. But have them spaced out nicely on your cookie sheet.
Mhm.
Oh, I have to leave that box in there. It's not coming out. Because they do get bigger.
I accidentally made that cookie a little too big, but that's okay. We have this big bone and this big dachshund already, so we're just gonna have big cookies.
And then once you roll out your cookies and have them all set up, you can start putting sprinkles on them.
Mm-hmm.
That way they bake into your cookie. Or heck, even if you wanted to, you could probably mix it in.
Mm-hmm.
You want to sprinkle some sprinkles in here?
Yeah, let's sprinkle some sprinkles in here.
Put it on here. There we go. And just kind of mix it in there.
Oh, some fell into the cookie dough. That's okay.
That's okay. Oops. Just kind of mix it in with your cookie dough. Ah, it keeps falling. That's okay. Let's pick it up again. Ah, see, you're putting it on top. I'm mixing it in.
Ooh.
So that way, when you bite in, you have little sprinkles in it. That'll probably be enough for our first batch, to be honest.
Yep.
Because they get bigger. All right, and then you want to put them in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes.
Do we want to put some sprinkles on any more of the cookies?
Let's put some on the dogs.
Yeah, let's put some on the dachshund.
Ooh, what about the bone instead so it looks like a little doggy treat?
Ooh, that'd be so cute.
Yes? Mr. Atticus Finch just likes to talk. He likes to talk a lot.
Very noisy boy.
Very noisy boy.
Okay.
Let's get some blue sprinkles.
Oh, we have some confectioner sugar.
Where's that sprinkles?
It's like sugar sprinkles.
Yeah. Oh, these got little snowmen on them.
They're so cute.
And you put it here in the dogs. Yeah. Just press them in a little bit so that way they can stick. Make sure they stay on your cookie. Alright. Okay, and there we go. I'm gonna go put them in the oven.
Oh, nice preheated. Very hot.
Very hot. So again, you want your parents to do this for you. Just slide them right on in there.
Ooh, you want to rotate it?
Yeah, that's the wrong way. I realize that.
Mhm.
8 minutes.
Oh, that's why.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Alrighty, so in about 8 minutes, we will be checking on these cookies and seeing if they're done.
Mm-hmm. You can turn it
Okay, so it has been about 10 minutes. We had to put them back in because they were a little underdone. So you can see that we have our cookies,
Yep.
the dog bone,
The dog bone doesn't really look like a dog bone, but that happens when the dachshund got
a little chunky.
a little chunky. And there's a hole in this one because one way that you can test to see if your baked goods are done is take a toothpick.
And just poke it right in the middle.
And if anything comes out, then you need to put it back in the oven. But if it's clean, then it's cooked.
And they are all done. Came out perfectly
Mhm.
clean. As you can see here, our little toothpick.
Yeah, it is clean.
Clean.
Hang on, let me focus on it. It doesn't want to focus on it,
Well,
but it's clean.
Alrighty. So,
Yeah, these are our cookies.
okie dokie. So, I guess does that conclude it?
Yeah, that basically wraps it up. We'll cook the rest of our cookie dough later on our own time, and then we will probably let you know later how they taste. But like just the batter alone shows it's probably gonna taste different than usual sugar cookies.
Mm-hmm.
but it should still be good.
Yes. And we do still have a movie recommendation for you guys this week.
Yes, our movie recommendation for you guys today is
It's
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Since, it's about cooking and also kind of about, like, discovering who you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it has lots of things, but also mostly for the cooking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, we will talk to you again next week. We love you and we miss you.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
See you next week.